Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk to you just for a moment about the experiment that you'll be doing this upcoming week. Now, one of the things, and I'm going to go ahead and share your Canvas page. Um, One of the things that will probably stand out to you as maybe a little bit odd is if you look on your Canvas page and you look at the week of 10/24, which is 1 week from today, so Monday the 24th, you'll see that there's actually two worksheets listed. There's IEX chromatography and there's affinity chromatography. Now, if you follow that and you look at 10/31, the week after, so the reason that this is, or sorry, if you look down on the 10/31, you'll see that there's IEX part 2 and affinity part 2, and that is accurate. There are two parts to this worksheet. So column chromatography is a kind of involved process. Now, what we're going to be doing is going to span a couple of weeks. I've got it set up right now to span at very least 2 weeks into potentially a third week, and that would be 1107. But what this technique is going to have you do is actually be using a chromatography column in order to select for or enrich for your protein to purify it from a very complex mixture. Now, with these two different chromatography types, there are two separate distinct columns. Now, with that in mind, I want you, the people working within the lab, to start one of them at a time. I want you to start with either the ion exchange chromatography or the affinity chromatography column. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I want you to start with the ion exchange chromatography column. Then, and only then, if you are feeling capable of processing the large number of samples that are going to come from column chromatography, once you feel capable of that, collecting them, keeping them organized, keeping them ordered, then and only then can you start the affinity chromatography column. Now, what I mean by that and what is important about that is there are some folks working in lab on 10/24 that an hour into their lab period will say, hey, you know what? We are moving along. This ion exchange chromatography column is working very well. I'm able to collect my samples and I've begun collecting within my group. I have a system. We have a system in place to collect and process these samples and not get anything mixed up, not lose anything, not discard the wrong samples or anything like that. We have a system. So you know what? We are ready to apply that system to the next chromatography column. For those people, fantastic. Go ahead and begin working with the affinity chromatography column. For those of you who say, I want to work with one column on the 24th, I want to complete working with all of that column on the 24th, and then on the 31st, I'll be ready to work with the materials in my second column. There is no problem with that. That's a way to have a good system in place, or both of those are good ways to know yourself and know what you're capable of and know what you can kind of take care of in the moment. I want you to, at this point in time, read over both of these protocols, get a good understanding of what it's going to consist of, and then begin kind of planning ahead for the 24th. I'm going to be posting a video later this week that will detail the differences between these different types of chromatography and talking about some of the other chromatographic techniques. But at this point in time, there are some questions in your worksheet that you might have to do a little bit of research on. Go to Sigma Aldrich chemical manufacturer web pages. Those will be good resources for you to use. In addition to that, that protein purification software, that kind of game that we used at the beginning of the semester, lots of information in there will be helpful for this chromatography or these chromatography worksheets. But with that said, expect a video later this week kind of detailing the subtleties and nuances of column chromatography. All right, well, have a great day.